Throughout history, civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind echoes of their existence. Beneath the emerald canopies of jungles, the shimmering depths of oceans, and the endless sands of deserts lie the remnants of once great cities, lost to time, yet rich with untold stories. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the mysteries of these vanished civilizations. From the towering heights of Machu Picchu to the submerged wonders of Heraklion, each lost city has a tale to tell. What mysteries lie within the crumbling walls and forgotten streets? What secrets do the stones hold, whispering stories of those who came before us? Nestled near modern-day Naples, Italy. Pompeii was once a thriving hub of culture and trade, but in 79 AD, everything changed. Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying the city under layers of volcanic ash and pumice. This sudden catastrophe preserved Pompeii in astonishing detail, capturing a snapshot of Roman life, from its bustling marketplaces and grand amphitheaters to its luxurious villas adorned with stunning frescoes. Pompeii was a city of vibrancy and prosperity. But in just hours, everything came to a halt, leaving its people and streets entombed for centuries, rediscovered in the 18th century. Pompeii's ruins have revealed remarkably well-preserved buildings, streets, and even casts of its residents, frozen in their final moments. Today, Pompeii stands as a haunting yet mesmerizing window into the ancient world, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, reminding us of the unstoppable power of nature and the resilience of history. First mentioned by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was said to be a powerful and advanced civilization located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, now known as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to legend, Atlantis was a city of immense wealth and wisdom, but its people grew arrogant and corrupt. Their moral decline led to a cataclysmic disaster, and in a single day and night, Atlantis vanished beneath the waves, lost forever. For centuries, the story of Atlantis has captivated imaginations across the globe. While no evidence has ever surfaced to confirm its existence, the legend endures. Atlantis stands as a symbol of human ambition, hubris, and the mysteries of the past. Will we ever uncover the secrets of Atlantis? Or will it remain a myth, submerged beneath the ocean's depths? Only time will tell. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru lies Machu Picchu, a timeless relic of the Inca civilization, symbolizing human ingenuity and harmony with nature. Built around 1450 AD during the reign of Emperor Pachacuti, this ancient citadel reveals the architectural brilliance of the Inca Empire. At an altitude of 2,430 meters, Machu Picchu is surrounded by majestic peaks and lush valleys. Its impressive stone structures, agricultural terraces, and sacred temples offer a glimpse into Inca life that remains remarkably intact. One iconic feature is the Intihuatana stone, a ritual stone, believed to have the power to hitch the sun, ensuring it followed a set path across the sky. The terraces, a marvel of engineering, enabled crop cultivation on steep terrain, showcasing the Incas' advanced farming techniques. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983, Machu Picchu continues to inspire awe, a place where history and nature blend seamlessly, reminding us of the resilience and creativity of the Inca civilization. Hidden along the banks of Indus River in present-day Pakistan lies Mohenjo-Daro, a masterpiece of ancient urban planning. Built around 2600 BC, this city was once the heart of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the earliest and most advanced cultures in the world. At its peak, Mohenjo-Daro was a bustling city, thriving with commerce and culture, home to as many as 40,000 people. With its grid-like streets, advanced drainage systems, and standardized brick houses, it was a beacon of ingenuity, demonstrating remarkable achievements in governance, engineering, and public health. The Great Bath, a massive public bathing structure at the center of the city. Was it a place for ritual cleansing, or perhaps a space for community gatherings? Excavations have also unearthed intricate pottery, seals bearing mysterious symbols, and figurines, artifacts that reveal the craftsmanship, culture, and extensive trade networks of this ancient society. Yet despite its greatness, this remarkable city was mysteriously abandoned by 1900 BC. Was it climate change, natural disasters, or internal conflict? We may never know. Rediscovered in the 1920s, Mohenjo-Daro continues to captivate the world, a lost city, offering clues to one of humanity's oldest and most enigmatic civilizations. Beneath the Mediterranean lies the lost city of Heraklion, also known as Thonis. Once a thriving port near the canopic mouth of the Nile, Heraklion flourished between the 6th and 4th centuries BC as Egypt's gateway to the Mediterranean world. Merchants, sailors, and pilgrims gathered here, and at its heart stood the grand temple of Amun, a center of devotion and trade. But around the 2nd century BC, natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, and soil liquefaction caused the city to sink beneath the sea. For over 1,000 years, Heraklion lay hidden, forgotten beneath layers of sand and water. In 2000, underwater archaeologists rediscovered this sunken marvel. They uncovered colossal statues, gold coins, and over 70 ships, revealing glimpses of a world long gone. Today, Heraklion continues to inspire, a reminder of Egypt's ancient glory and the power of nature that reclaimed it. Beneath the hills of modern-day Turkey lies the ancient city of Troy, a place where myth and history collide. Famous for the Trojan War, Troy dates back to around 3600 BC. This legendary city, immortalized in Homer's tales, was built and rebuilt over centuries, creating 9 layers of settlement. Troy 6 and 7 from the late Bronze Age are believed to align with the time of the Trojan War. In the 19th century, Troy emerged from legend when archaeologists uncovered its ruins. They found extensive fortifications, treasures, and evidence of vibrant trade networks, proof of a thriving culture at the crossroads of history and myth. Today, Troy stands as a powerful reminder of the enduring allure of stories and the truths they often conceal. From its ancient walls to the echoes of heroic battles, Troy continues to captivate us, bridging the gap between legend and reality. Nestled in the vast Syrian desert lies Palmyra. This city was once a bustling hub on the trade routes between the East and West. Imagine a melting pot where cultures, ideas, and goods from across the world converged. Palmyra really hit its stride during the Roman period. It became a wealthy center for commerce and cultural exchange thanks to its strategic location. The city's inhabitants, known as Palmyrines, were top-tier merchants who established colonies along the Silk Road. This economic boom is reflected in Palmyra's stunning architectural remnants. Think the Great Colonnade, the Temple of Bel, and those iconic tower tombs. These structures are a unique blend of Greek, Roman, and Persian influences, showcasing the city's cosmopolitan flair. But Palmyra wasn't just about trade and architecture. Its strategic importance made it a hot target for various empires throughout history. The city changed hands multiple times, experiencing periods of autonomy and subjugation. Despite these power shifts, Palmyra managed to maintain its cultural identity and played a pivotal role in the region's history. Palmyra's story stretches back to the Neolithic period, with evidence of human habitation dating back thousands of years. However, its golden age came under the Roman Empire. The city enjoyed significant autonomy and economic growth, especially under the rule of Queen Zenobia. Zenobia was a powerhouse who even challenged Roman authority, establishing the short-lived Palmyrene Empire. But her reign ended when Roman Emperor Aurelian sacked the city in 273 AD. Even after its destruction, Palmyra refused to be forgotten. It was partially rebuilt and remained inhabited through the Byzantine, Arab, and Ottoman periods. Fast forward to the 20th century, and archaeological excavations have brought Palmyra's impressive ruins back into the spotlight, offering us a glimpse into its rich and layered history. A city that once bridged the ancient world and still whispers its stories through the sands of time. Hidden deep within the rugged mountains of southern Jordan lies an ancient marvel, Petra, a city carved entirely into rose-red rock, and a place of mystery, once known as Rakhmu. Petra's story begins as far back as 7000 BC, but it truly rose to prominence when the Nabateans, a nomadic Arab people, established it as their capital in the 2nd century BC. Imagine a thriving metropolis, bustling with traders and travelers from across the ancient world. Its strategic location on the trade routes made Petra the lifeblood of the incense trade, connecting Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. But Petra wasn't just a trading hub, it was an architectural masterpiece. The Nabateans carved monumental structures into the very cliffs. Al-Khazna, famously known as the Treasury, is perhaps the city's most iconic symbol. Towering over visitors at 40 meters high, its intricate facade is both majestic and mysterious, although its purpose is still a subject of debate among historians. And then there's the monastery, an equally grand structure sitting at the end of a challenging climb. Its vast scale and breathtaking design speak volumes about Petra's glory days and the ambition of its creators. But the Nabateans weren't just skilled architects, they were also ingenious engineers. They developed an advanced water conduit system, channeling precious water from distant springs to sustain life in this arid desert landscape. This innovation allowed Petra to flourish, even in one of the harshest environments on Earth. However, like all great civilizations, Petra faced its decline. In 106 AD, the Romans annexed the Nabatean kingdom and Petra's influence began to fade. Then, in 363 AD, a powerful earthquake struck, causing severe damage and marking the beginning of Petra's abandonment. For centuries, the city was forgotten, lost to the sands of time. It wasn't until 1812 that Petra emerged from the shadows of history, brought to light by early archaeological expeditions, and yet its story is far from complete. Recent satellite imagery has uncovered hidden wonders, like a massive ceremonial platform, suggesting that Petra still guards secrets waiting to be revealed. As archaeologists continue to explore, this ancient city promises to unveil even more mysteries of its glorious past. A city carved from stone, yet forever etched in history. Nestled on the Mediterranean coast of present-day Libya lies an ancient city, Leptis Magna, a city that was once a thriving metropolis of the Roman Empire. Founded before 500 BC, this city flourished under Emperor Septimius Severus, becoming a bustling hub for trade and culture. Known for its grand architecture, Leptis Magna boasted monumental buildings such as the Severan Arch, an expansive forum, and impressive public baths. Its wealth was largely derived from trade, particularly olive oil, grain, and exotic animals for Rome's gladiatorial games. However, the city began to decline in the 3rd century due to economic and political turmoil within the Roman Empire, and was further impacted by invasions and natural disasters. By the 7th century, Leptis Magna was abandoned, slowly swallowed by the sands of time. Today, it stands as one of the most well-preserved Roman ruins in the Mediterranean, offering a window into the grandeur of the Roman Empire's influence in North Africa. Leptis Magna, an ancient wonder, now uncovered from the sands of time. Beneath the rolling landscape of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies a hidden world, a city carved into the earth itself, Derinkuyu, a vast underground labyrinth, once capable of sheltering up to 20,000 people. Dating back to at least the Byzantine period, Derinkuyu served as a sanctuary from the turmoil of wars and invasions. This remarkable underground refuge extends 85 meters deep, about the height of a 30-story building, far more than just a hideout. Derinkuyu was a fully functioning city. It had stables for livestock, communal kitchens, storage rooms for food and supplies, and even wine cellars. And on the 2nd floor, unique to this subterranean marvel, was a schoolroom with a vaulted ceiling, perhaps a place for children to learn, even in the darkest of times. But the ingenuity didn't end there. The city's complex network of ventilation shafts ensured a steady flow of fresh air, while massive stone doors protected its inhabitants from the outside world. These features reflect an advanced understanding of engineering and survival. Rediscovered in 1963, this lost city invites us to step back in time, to imagine a world where survival meant digging deeper, both literally and metaphorically. Derinkuyu, an ancient city hidden deep beneath the earth, waiting to be explored. Beneath the sands of Egypt lies a story almost as dazzling as the sun itself. A city lost for thousands of years, known as the dazzling Aten. Rediscovered in 2021, this ancient settlement near Luxor has been called one of the most significant finds since Tutankhamun's tomb. Aten was founded by Pharaoh Amenhotep III around 1386 BC, a bustling, vibrant center of industry and administration during Egypt's New Kingdom. Its structures were astonishingly well preserved, almost as if frozen in time, offering a vivid glimpse into the daily lives of ancient Egyptians. Bakeries, workshops, living quarters. Aten was alive with activity. Here, bread was baked, pottery was crafted, and everyday tasks were carried out, all under the watchful eye of Amenhotep III's administration. Archaeologists even found preserved storage jars, ovens, and tools, remnants that speak to the vibrant life that once filled these walls. This wasn't just an industrial hub, it was a place where artisans refined their craft, where families gathered, and where the rhythm of ancient Egyptian life pulsed with energy. But for reasons that remain a mystery, the city was abandoned. Aten's story didn't end there, though. It was later occupied during the Byzantine era, adding layers to its already rich history. Rediscovering Aten has been a momentous breakthrough. It's a time capsule of Egypt's New Kingdom, offering us new clues into the lives, trade, and transitions of this ancient world. Beneath the sands of Iraq, near modern-day Hilla, lies a name that has echoed through the corridors of history: Babylon. Babylon wasn't just any city, it was an icon of the ancient world. Known for the breathtaking hanging gardens, a marvel so enchanting it earned a place among the 7 wonders of the world and the Grand Ishtar Gate, an entrance to the city as majestic as its rulers. Babylon thrived as the heart of 2 powerful empires. First, the Old Babylonian Empire, ruled by King Hammurabi, a leader who crafted the first comprehensive law code, the famous Code of Hammurabi, that transformed justice itself. Then, centuries later, Babylon rose again, even more splendid, under King Nebuchadnezzar II and the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon grew to symbolize the height of power, wealth, and architectural brilliance. This was a place where culture, religion, and politics intertwined. Its temples, statues, and myths were woven into the very fabric of Mesopotamian life. Babylon wasn't just a city, it was a legendary center of advanced architecture, home to one of the world's earliest and most sophisticated legal systems, and a focal point of ancient myths that still intrigue us today. But like all great empires, Babylon's power faded. After a Persian conquest, the city's influence waned, then gradually abandoned. Today, Babylon stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering a glimpse into the heights of civilization and the mysteries of ancient Mesopotamia. Babylon, a city that shaped the course of human history, waiting to inspire the world again. Deep in the heart of Crete lies Knossos, a city that whispers secrets of one of the world's oldest and most enigmatic civilizations, the Minoans. This ancient city, dating back nearly 7,000 years, was once the heartbeat of a thriving Bronze Age society. But Knossos was no ordinary city. It was a place of grandeur, where advanced architecture, elaborate art, and sacred rituals brought life to stone and clay. At its center stood the Great Palace, a sprawling maze of halls, courtyards, and storerooms, with frescoes depicting a vibrant world, and storerooms brimming with remnants of extensive trade. Knossos was the hub of Minoan culture and influence across the Mediterranean, and the palace itself became the foundation for one of the most enduring myths of ancient Greece, the tale of the Minotaur, a creature born of legend, trapped within a labyrinth built by human hands. This labyrinth wasn't merely symbolic. It echoed the intricate design of the palace, with winding corridors and countless rooms that could indeed inspire such myths. Today, Knossos stands as a silent testament to the Minoans, a civilization of artistry, power, and mysticism, a city that rose, thrived, and vanished, yet left an indelible mark on the pages of history. Deep within the lush, untamed jungles of the Sierra Nevada, Colombia, lies an ancient secret, Ciudad Perdida, hidden from the world for centuries. This remarkable place was likely founded around 800 AD by the Tirana civilization, long before the famous Incan city of Machu Picchu established. The city was abandoned during the Spanish conquest in the 16th century. In 1972, treasure hunters stumbled upon the city, leading to its rediscovery by archaeologists. To reach this city, you must first conquer an epic climb, 1,200 ancient stone steps, winding through lush jungle, each step bringing you closer to this sacred realm. Along the way, the sounds of nature immerse you in the essence of the Sierra Nevada, adding to the sense of stepping back in time. This city, with its intricate network of 169 terraces, stone pathways, and plazas, holds remnants of a thriving, vibrant society that once pulsed with life and spirituality. This was no ordinary settlement. For the Tairona people, Ciudad Perdida was a place of power, a sacred city where ceremonies took place, and their connection to the land thrived. Today, indigenous groups like the Kogi, descendants of the Tairona, continue to see it as a sacred ancestral site, a living link to their heritage. and an enduring symbol of their culture. But Ciudad Perdida's story is not without its struggles. The city, untouched by the modern world for centuries, was rediscovered amidst Colombia's turbulent armed conflicts. Once the domain of looters and danger, it has, since 2005, reopened to travelers. Today the site thrives as a destination, protected by indigenous guardians and conservation efforts that ensure its legacy endures. Ciudad Perdida, an ancient civilization hidden deep within the jungle, now uncovered, waiting to be explored.
Che mama rinina. Chura la la ba. Kopana, lana, tula.
In the heart of Cambodia's dense jungles, hidden for centuries, lies the lost city of Angkor, a place that was once full of life, power, and mystery. Picture this: Angkor in its prime, bustling streets lined with markets, grand temples stretching up to touch the sky, and the distant chanting of monks echoing through the air. At its height, Angkor wasn't just big. It was one of the largest, most sophisticated cities in the world. Its influence spread across Southeast Asia, unmatched in its splendor. The story kicks off with Jayavarman II. He was a ruler with a big idea. He declared himself a Chakravartin, basically a universal monarch, with the ambition to unite the land. Fueled by this divine mission, Jayavarman II laid the foundation for what would become a sprawling empire. Over the centuries, successive kings, each wanting to outdo the last, expanded Angkor. They built temple after temple, each more impressive than the last. And at the center of it all was Angkor Wat, dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, with its towers symbolizing Mount Meru, the highest sacred mountain where the sun and moon return to rest and the residence of Indian gods. But Angkor wasn't just about one temple. This was an entire city of devotion, engineering, and artistry. And perhaps the most fascinating figure in Angkor's history was Jayavarman VII. This guy didn't just build temples, he changed the entire spiritual identity of the city. He was a Buddhist, and he brought that vision to life with the construction of Bayon Temple, famous for its giant stone faces, serene, almost omniscient, peering in every direction. Many say those faces are reflections of Jayavarman himself, positioning him as a semi-divine figure of compassion and power. But, like all great civilizations, Angkor faced decline, centuries of wars, resource depletion, and environmental stress took their toll. The city's once impressive water management system began to fail. Without it, Angkor's vast population couldn't be sustained. Gradually, the Khmer people moved away, and nature took over. The city, its temples, its streets, was slowly swallowed by the jungle, left to be forgotten by the outside world. For centuries, Angkor lay hidden, its ruins whispered about in local legends, but unseen by the rest of the world. It wasn't until the 19th century that French explorers stumbled upon this lost city, and suddenly, Angkor was back on the map. Even today, as archaeologists uncover more about its past, Angkor remains an enigma, a haunting reminder of a grand vision that once was, It's a city built to honor the gods, a legacy that defied time, but not the forces of nature. Angkor stands as a place of faded glory, where the spirit of a lost civilization still lingers, etched into every stone, a testament to how high humanity can soar, and how swiftly it can all come crashing down. In the heart of southeastern Africa, nestled among rolling hills and grasslands, lies a lost city, Great Zimbabwe, a city that built on the wealth of Africa itself. Picture this: towering stone walls, intricate architecture, all constructed without a drop of mortar. This wasn't just a city, it was a powerhouse, fueled by gold and ivory, with influence stretching far beyond its stone boundaries. Between the 11th and 15th centuries, Great Zimbabwe was thriving. Imagine bustling streets filled with merchants, artisans, and leaders. This place was a critical link in a global trade network, connecting the African interior to the Swahili coast, and from there to places like Persia, India, and China. At the heart of this city stood the Great Enclosure, a stone masterpiece that defies the limits of ancient engineering. Envision walls reaching over 10 meters high, stretching 250 meters around. These walls, carefully stacked without mortar, formed a space grand enough to serve as a royal residence or a vast storage complex. As one of the largest ancient structures south of Africa, it's a true testament to the strength, skill, and ambition of its builders. But, like all great powers, Great Zimbabwe faced challenges. Resources dwindled, trade routes shifted, and slowly the city began to fade. By the 15th century, it was abandoned, remaining hidden until its rediscovery in the 19th century. Today, Great Zimbabwe stands as an iconic symbol of African history, a lasting reminder of the kingdom's former glory. Walking among its ruins, you can't help but marvel at the achievements of a civilization that, without modern technology, crafted monumental stone architecture that has stood for centuries. Imagine a city so prosperous, so dazzling, that travelers from Europe to Persia called it the Venice of the East. This was Ayutthaya, a thriving metropolis in the heart of Thailand, where grand temples and towering palaces lined canals, bustling with ships from every corner of the world. Founded in 1351, Ayutthaya quickly became a vital link in global trade, connecting the wealth of Asia to the high-demand markets in Europe. Chinese pottery, Indian spices, Persian carpets, and Japanese silk all flowed through this city, making it one of Southeast Asia's most cosmopolitan kingdoms. Ayutthaya's kings understood the power of diplomacy and trade. They welcomed foreign merchants and diplomats, allowing them to establish communities along the canals, each a miniature world with its own customs, languages, and temples. French visitors marveled at the palace's grandeur. Dutch traders noted the intricate temple spires, and Persian merchants praised the city's opulence. But as Ayutthaya's wealth grew, so did threats from neighboring kingdoms. The Burmese, driven by rivalry and ambition, launched numerous invasions. Ayutthaya defended its golden age for centuries. But in 1767, the Burmese army finally broke through. The city that had flourished for over 400 years was left in ruins, its treasures looted, its people scattered. Today, the ruins of Ayutthaya still stand, a haunting reminder of a lost empire, its spires rising defiantly against the sky. Walking through ancient temples and remnants of royal palaces, you can almost hear echoes of a bustling metropolis, feel the pulse of a kingdom that once dazzled the world. Ayutthaya's legacy endures, not just in stone, but in the memory of a city that connected worlds, a city that showed the power of trade, diplomacy, and cultural fusion. Ayutthaya may be lost, but its story is far from forgotten. High in the heart of Sri Lanka, shrouded in mist and mystery, stands Sigiriya, a fortress carved into a towering rock. But this is more than just an ancient wonder. It's the story of a king who tried to touch the skies, but fell back to earth. The story begins in the 5th century AD, when a prince named Kashyapa betrayed his own family. Desperate for power, he seized the throne of Sri Lanka in a bloody coup. Despite being the eldest son, his father, King Datusena, chose Kashyapa's younger brother Moggallana to inherit the throne. Furious and feeling betrayed, Kashyapa imprisoned his father. But instead of showing mercy, Kashyapa chose a punishment that was both cruel and final. He buried his father alive in a wall. The kingdom was thrown into chaos. Kashyapa's brother fled to South India, vowing to return for revenge. Gripped by fear, Kashyapa needed a place where no one could reach him. So he turned to Sigiriya, a massive rock rising 200 meters above the plains. Here, he built a fortress in the sky, one he believed no enemy could conquer. What rose was nothing short of breathtaking. A gateway in the shape of a giant lion guarded the only path to the summit. Below, lush gardens stretched for miles, fed by advanced water systems that seemed centuries ahead of their time. Inside, the walls were adorned with vibrant frescoes of celestial maidens, and the mirror wall reflected the glory of Kashyapa's reign. Sigiriya was more than a fortress. It was a palace in the sky. But this fortress wasn't just a palace. It was Kashyapa's prison. Years later, the brother he feared returned with an army. Determined to take back the throne, the man who thought he could build an unshakable kingdom fell into his own trap, betrayed by his entire army. Kashyapa was left alone, exposed, and defenseless in the face of his brother's forces. The king took his own life. On the battlefield, Sigiriya, once the seat of power, was abandoned. Its grandeur faded, its gardens reclaimed by the jungle, yet its story endured. Today, Sigiriya's ruins still stand, whispering of a king's ambition and a city's forgotten glory. Climbing its steep steps, You can feel the echoes of history, the determination of its builders, the pride of its king, and the tragedy that brought it all to ruin. Sigiriya, the Lion Rock, remains one of humanity's most fascinating creations, a fortress in the sky, a symbol of ambition, and a monument to the fragile nature of power. In the heart of the jungle, a pyramid rises. Its steps mark the days of the year. Its shadows summon a serpent from the heavens, and its summit echoes with the prayers of a vanished people. This was a city where the stars ruled, and the gods demanded blood. The Maya saw the universe as alive. The stars, the sun, Venus, they weren't just lights in the sky, they were divine forces shaping life on earth. In Chichen Itza, the priests didn't just watch the heavens, they listened. From their observatory, they tracked Venus with astonishing precision. Its 584-day cycle guided war and sacrifice. They mapped the movements of the sun, predicting solstices and equinoxes. Every shift in the heavens carried a message, and every message demanded action. Twice a year, during the equinox, something extraordinary happens. Shadows ripple down the temple of Kukulkan. Slowly, they form the shape of a serpent, slithering to earth. The Maya believed this was Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god, descending to bless the land. Crowds gathered at the base of the pyramid. Priests stood at its summit. They pierced their skin with stingray spines and obsidian blades, offering their blood to the gods. The smoke of their sacrifice rose to the heavens, and below the people chanted, their faith echoing through the jungle. For the Maya, this wasn't just a ritual, it was survival. Unfortunately, not all messages from the heavens brought blessings. Venus, the morning star, was a sign of war, a call for blood. When Venus rose, the Maya prepared. Battles were fought to capture prisoners. Victims were painted, adorned with feathers and jade, and they were brought to the pyramids. There, their hearts were offered to the gods, beating, alive, a gift to keep the universe in balance. To the Maya, this wasn't cruelty, it was duty. Beyond the temples lies the sacred cenote, a sinkhole the Maya believed was a gateway to the underworld. During droughts and famine, priests came to the cenote. They cast offerings into its depths, jade, gold, and human lives. Victims were thrown alive into the water. Their sacrifice was meant to appease Chek, the rain god, to bring the rains, to save their people. Today, archaeologists have uncovered bones, jewelry, and ceremonial objects from the cenote's floor, silent witnesses to the devotion and desperation of the Maya. Even games in Chichen Itza carried the weight of the cosmos. The Great Ball Court wasn't just an arena, it was a stage for the gods. Players struck a heavy rubber ball with their hips, knees, and elbows. The goal? To send it through a stone ring high on the wall. A near impossible feat. But the stakes were even higher. The losing team, or sometimes the winners, were sacrificed. Their deaths honored the gods. Their blood kept the universe turning. This wasn't just a game, it was a cosmic ritual. For centuries, Chichen Itza thrived. Its priests studied the heavens. Its people followed the rituals. Its rulers claimed divine authority over life and death. But the balance was fragile. Droughts grew longer, wars intensified. The rituals that once brought prosperity began to fail. By the time the Spanish arrived, Chichen Itza was silent, its plazas abandoned, its gods unanswered. Today, Chichen Itza stands as a silent witness. Its pyramids rise to the heavens, its cenotes plunge into the underworld, and its story whispers through the stones. The Maya looked to the stars to understand their place in the universe. They believed their sacrifices kept the cosmos in balance. Even now, we search for meaning in the heavens, and we ask ourselves, what will we sacrifice to preserve our world? For centuries, it lay hidden beneath the jungle, a silent monument to a forgotten civilization. Its intricate carvings whispered stories of enlightenment, but its builders had vanished. This is Borobudur, a temple of unparalleled grandeur, lost to time, and found again. In the 8th century, on the fertile plains of Java, a dynasty of kings dreamed of building a gateway to the heavens. They were the Shailendras, devout followers of Mahayana Buddhism. Their vision? To create a massive mandala carved in stone, a cosmic map guiding pilgrims on a journey to enlightenment. The temple rises in tiers, each level symbolizing a step on the spiritual path, from the world of desires to ultimate liberation. Its builders moved 55,000 cubic meters of volcanic stone, sculpting over 2,600 intricate reliefs and placing 504 serene Buddha statues. Borobudur became a beacon of spirituality, attracting pilgrims from across Asia. But even great monuments can fall silent. By the 14th century, Borobudur was abandoned. Its terraces, once alive with prayers, were buried under ash and swallowed by the jungle. Some blame Mount Merapi, whose eruptions displaced entire communities. Others point to the rise of Islam in Java, which reshaped the island's spiritual landscape. The Shailendra dynasty's Buddhist legacy faded, and Borobudur was forgotten, a mountain of stone, hidden from the world. Centuries later, in 1814, during British rule in Java, rumors of a hidden temple led explorers to uncover what seemed impossible, a vast monument, forgotten by time, yet preserved in astonishing detail. Standing atop Borobudur, gazing at its intricate carvings and the endless Javanese plains, you can't help but wonder, when time has its way, what will remain of us, and what stories will our stones tell? Long before the Aztecs ruled Mexico, another civilization rose, a city so powerful, so mysterious, that centuries later its ruins were believed to be built by gods. This was Teotihuacan, the first great metropolis of the Americas. Its story is one of ambition, ingenuity, and a puzzle that has fascinated historians for centuries. Teotihuacan's story begins over 2,000 years ago. In the heart of the basin of Mexico, surrounded by volcanic peaks, a city rose like no other. By 100 CE, it had grown into a sprawling metropolis, home to tens of thousands. The city's heart was its pyramids. The Pyramid of the Sun, one of the largest pyramids on Earth, was built atop a sacred cave. The Pyramid of the Moon overlooked grand plazas where rituals brought the city to life, and the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, its intricate carvings celebrated divine creatures, awe-inspiring to both man and gods. Teotihuacan wasn't just a ceremonial site, it was a hub of trade, art, and religion. Obsidian tools, exotic goods, and elaborate rituals drew people from across Mesoamerica, creating a vibrant, multi-ethnic society. The city's design wasn't just practical, it was cosmic. Pyramids and streets aligned perfectly with celestial patterns, linking its people to the heavens. They believed their city wasn't just a home, but a bridge between the human and divine. But greatness often comes at a cost. Teotihuacan's priests performed elaborate rituals, believing they ensured prosperity and balance. It was a city that lived by the heavens, but its ambitions also relied on the riches of the earth. Teotihuacan's influence stretched far and wide. Its trade networks shaped cultures as far as the Maya, but for all its grandeur, Teotihuacan's rulers remain a mystery. No names, no stories, only silence. By 550 CE, Teotihuacan's golden age was over. Fire swept through its ceremonial heart. Its vast markets emptied. Its streets grew silent. Historians have many theories: rebellion, drought, famine, or shifting trade routes. But no single answer explains its fall. What's most haunting isn't just that Teotihuacan fell, it's how completely it vanished. No records, no names, only silence, a city swallowed by time. centuries later the Aztecs stumbled upon its ruins, they stood in awe, believing it to be the work of gods. They called it Teotihuacan, the place where the gods were created. Its forgotten grandeur became part of their mythology. Today, archaeologists continue to uncover its secrets. Murals, artifacts, and tombs tell us of a city that touched the heavens and left behind one of history's greatest mysteries. Walking through Teotihuacan, we can still hear the whispers of its builders, carved into stone, etched into its pyramids, and carried by the wind. But the questions linger. Who built this city? And why was it abandoned? Teotihuacan remains a mystery that continues to captivate the world. How does one of the wealthiest cities in the world, overflowing with culture, devotion, and ambition, vanish almost overnight? This is Hampi, a city of gods, kings, and merchants. A city of unimaginable splendor, reduced to ruins after one fateful battle. But why did it fall? And what remains of its legacy? The story begins in the 14th century, a time when India was fragmented into regional kingdoms. The Delhi Sultanate ruled much of the north, while the south was divided among smaller Hindu states like the Hoysalas and Pandyas. Amid this turmoil, two brothers from the south, Harihara and Bukka, founded the Vijayanagara Empire. In 1336 CE, they chose Hampi as their capital, a city built to unite and protect the region. Temples soared toward the heavens, while palaces reflected the empire's might. Hampi wasn't just a city, it was the soul of a kingdom. Hampi thrived on trade, wealth, and devotion. Its markets drew merchants from as far as Persia and Portugal. Spices, gems, and silks flowed freely, making Hampi one of the wealthiest cities in the world. But its strength wasn't just in commerce. Hindus, Muslims, and Jains lived and worshipped side by side. Their cultures enriched one another, creating harmony that echoed in the city's art and architecture. Every structure in Hampi tells a story. From the grandeur of the Vitala temple to the Indo-Islamic elegance of the Lotus Mahal. But even the greatest cities are not invincible. In 1565, Hampi faced its darkest hour, the Battle of Talikota. The Deccan Sultanates, once divided, united with one goal, to destroy Vijayanagara. But the final blow came from within. Some of the empire's key generals, Muslim allies in their ranks, defected during the battle. By nightfall, the city burned. Its temples defaced, its treasures looted. A city of unimaginable splendor, reduced to silence. Hampi's story isn't just history, it's a reflection. The unity and ambition that built this great city also led to its downfall. Today, we inherit traditions and structures from the past. But do we ever stop to ask, are they serving us or holding us back? When the time comes, will we have the foresight of the brothers who built this empire? Or will we let division and greed undo us, like the leaders who let Hampi fall? Imagine a city where faith could shape the earth itself. A city where 10,000 temples rose toward the heavens, built to bring merit, blessings, and perhaps immortality. This is Bagan, a city that sought eternity, but like all great ambitions, it faced the weight of time. The story begins in the 11th century. At the time, Myanmar was divided, fragmented tribes, rival kingdoms, and competing beliefs. Anarata saw chaos, but also opportunity. Guided by the teachings of Theravada Buddhism, Anarata found his answer: a single faith, to unite a kingdom, a moral code, to bring order, a spiritual vision, to inspire devotion. With the Buddha's teachings as his foundation, Anarata transformed Bagan into a unified kingdom. Temples soared toward the heavens, and Bagan became the soul of an empire. Under Anarata and his successors, Bagan entered its golden age. Faith became its lifeblood, temples its heartbeat. Over 10,000 monuments rose toward the heavens, each built to earn merit and honor the Buddha. Bagan wasn't just a city, it was a crossroads where goods, ideas, and faiths converged. Pilgrims came from India, Sri Lanka, and beyond. While local artisans carved wonders of devotion into stone, these monuments were more than stone. They were gateways to the heavens, linking the divine with the mortal. But what unites a kingdom can also divide it. Successive kings poured wealth into building temples. Thousands were built, each larger, grander than the last. Monasteries grew powerful, claiming vast lands exempt from taxes. Labor was pulled from farms to feed this ambition. The balance that Anarata envisioned began to crumble. Faith, once a unifying force, became a strain on the kingdom's resources. In 1287, the Mongols came. Bagan's military, underfunded and unprepared, could not hold the line. Temples that once touched the heavens now echoed with silence. A city of unmatched devotion, undone by its own ambition. Bagan's temples stand as a reminder of human ambition, how faith can unite and inspire, but also overreach. It asks us to reflect. What will we leave behind? And will it endure the test of time? Only time will tell. In ancient times, Ephesus stood as the city of a goddess. Her temple was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Her followers built a city so grand it rivaled Rome. But faith is never still. How did a city built for Artemis transform into a stronghold of Christianity? And why did it ultimately fall to silence? At its height, Ephesus was one of the greatest cities in the ancient world. Its harbor connected Asia and Europe, while its streets were lined with marble and temples. At its heart stood the Temple of Artemis, a masterpiece of devotion and engineering. Pilgrims traveled from across the Mediterranean to honor Artemis, the goddess of the moon and eternity. The temple wasn't just a place of worship, it was the lifeblood of the city. Faith gave Ephesus its identity, its wealth, and its pride. But faith, like the tides, can change. In the 1st century CE, a new faith arrived. The Apostle Paul, one of Christianity's most passionate voices, began preaching in the shadow of Artemis. For 2 years, he built a growing community, challenging the city's traditions and its economy. The tension exploded during the riot of the silversmiths. Artisans who relied on crafting statues of Artemis for their livelihood saw Paul's teachings as a threat. They rallied a mob in the Great Theatre, demanding an end to his influence. The riot faded, but the seeds of change were planted. Over centuries, the faith of Artemis gave way to Christianity, transforming Ephesus into a new kind of spiritual center. As the Roman Empire embraced Christianity, Ephesus transformed again. The grand temple of Artemis, once the city's pride, was abandoned. Its stones were repurposed for churches, and the goddess faded into memory. The city's decline wasn't just spiritual. Its harbor, the source of its wealth, silted up, cutting off trade. By the Middle Ages, Ephesus was a shadow of its former self, its streets left to the silence of time. Walking through Ephesus today, it's hard not to marvel at how well these ruins have endured. The Library of Chalcis, the Great Theatre, and its streets still echo with the stories of gods and apostles. In a land now predominantly Muslim, Ephesus reminds us that faiths may change, but their legacies linger. And as I tread these ancient stones, I wonder, when belief shifts, does it build a bridge to the future or a wall to the past? Centuries ago, deep in the Guatemalan jungle, a city stood on the brink of ruin. But how did one king, against all odds, reverse its decline and transform it into one of the strongest kingdoms of the Maya world? This is the story of Tikal and the king who saved it. In the 6th century CE, Tikal's glory faded. Defeated by its longtime rival Calakmul, the once mighty Jaguar kingdom fell into silence. The Maya world was fragmented, a mosaic of city-states, each vying for dominance under the watchful eyes of the gods. While Calakmul declared itself the heart of the Maya world, Tikal remained shrouded in darkness, its legacy seemingly lost. But Tikal's story wasn't over. In 682 CE, a new king rose, Jasor Chankawil I. Determined to reclaim his city's divine favor, Jasor rebuilt temples, forged alliances, and prepared his people for the ultimate confrontation with the Snake Kingdom. He believed Tikal wasn't just a city, It was chosen by the gods to guide the Maya world, and he vowed to prove it, no matter the cost. In 695 CE, Jasor led Tikal to face its greatest rival, Calakmul, the Snake Kingdom. The Snake King seemed invincible, but power cracks from within. Betrayal spread. Loyal allies became enemies, weakening Calakmul's defenses. By nightfall, the unthinkable happened. The Snake King was captured, not only a trophy of war, but a sacrifice to honor the gods. With his victory, Jasor restored Tikal's power, proving that the Jaguar Kingdom was once again favored by the gods. Yet, was it truly a war for the gods? Or was it a war for power, a battle to etch one king's name into eternity? As I walk through these ancient ruins, I can't help but wonder, can we truly achieve immortality by giving life to the gods? Or do the heavens only watch as we rise and fall, leaving behind the same question again and again?